What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Monday edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. First off, Skol. You will not see me on Monday night recording for Tuesday NBA because I will be at the Rams and Vikings game. That is for sure. So I'm out here in Scottsdale, going to be breaking things down from here tonight. There are 4/6 games, and I say that because I don't know what's going to happen with the Lakers and Clippers games going on simultaneously there. Obviously, they play in different arenas, so it's kind of funny to see them there. This is the first year that they can play on the same night in LA, but they also might not be playing in LA because it's still got a lot of issues going on. If you're out there right now, please be safe. Please be careful. Crazy, crazy stuff getting out of there. But we got ourselves tails. You guys can sign up down for that below. That's at Eric Lindquist. That's me. Again, no NBA Lindy's coming your way on Monday night for Tuesday. Keep that in mind. But I'm going to break down the 6 games we have. If you guys would be so kind, hit that like button too as we get going. And I am sorry if you tailed me on the Denver money line. That doesn't feel good. They were plus 400. They closed plus 360. I'm going to use that closing line value here on this show. Producer Jacob, what's that good for? Let's get to the picks. Greg Ehrenberg did tell me that he was able to use closing line value at his grocery store the other day. That was lovely to hear. That gives me hope. Anyway, we got ourselves Minnesota minus 13.5 taking on Washington. While I worry about my football Minnesota team, football Minnesota team. The Minnesota basketball team, well, they're starting to find their footings, and then things kind of fell apart the other night. I don't even know what to make of what I watched on Saturday. It made me so mad. It made me so mad. There's no reason we should have lost that game to Memphis. And those are the kind of games that you have to win this time of year so you can stack them up coming towards the end of the season. I'm not saying that we're going to be the one seed. We're definitely not going to be the one seed at this point with our record, but we can definitely play ourselves and jockey ourselves into a little extra rest here or there, picking our spots. If you can win some of those close games against really good competitive teams, obviously Memphis sitting up there top 2 in the Western Conference, but that was a huge bummer and just wanted to say how mad I was about that. But that being said, Washington on a back-to-back, Minnesota full rest. And I said this to my folks when I walked in the door, should Minnesota be 13.5 point favorites against anybody? And the answer is, against this version of Washington, absolutely. They're not trying to win basketball games. Now, do you get Kyle Kuzma in here and Alexander Sarr in here and all the normal guys in here, Jordan Poole? Yeah, you probably do. But overall, Dante DiVincenzo, since being added to the starting lineup, far more competitive games. And we beat up on a good Orlando team. We beat up on a New Orleans team that's starting to get healthier. And we won a close one against the Clippers, although about the most run good you could possibly run into. Only 23 minutes for Julius Randle. He got in foul trouble, and we just kept him off the floor because Naz Reid is the truth. So pay attention to things like that, because I do think, I've said this multiple times, single game parlays on Julius Randle are coming, and they're going to be on the unders. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but they're coming. Keep that in mind. Anywho, we are looking at Minnesota here as a lean/like. What do I mean by this? Well, I think there might be some sharp money coming in on the Washington side. And if this drops below 13, if this drops to 12.5, I think you attack this line. I think people probably go a little too crazy with the rest advantage, but I got to tell you, I like the new starting lineup for Minnesota. And even though we fell apart on that Saturday game and should have beaten Memphis, I like this brand of basketball. Offensive and defensive ratings looking better with that new starting 5 than what it did with the version of Mike Conley we've had this season. I still love him. He's going to have a special place in all of our hearts. Any team that he's gone to. I mean, the guy's never had a technical foul in the NBA, I believe. Is that still a streak he has going, Producer Jacob? I think he does. Google next game. Detroit, 7 points. 7 points that they are getting here, taking on the New York Knicks. And it's kind of wild because the New York Knicks you would think would be double-digit favorites against the Detroit Pistons, but alas, your boy, Cade Cunningham, is going absolutely berserk this season. I mean, the guy is bona fide a stud. Toronto, Golden State, they should have won that game too. 40 minutes, 32, 8, and 6 he got from Cade Cunningham and couldn't seal the deal. The assist rate going up here in the absence of Jaden Ivey. They are going to get multiple opportunities. Again, 17, he had a 22, 10, and 17 line against Toronto in their last win. These are the kind of assist rates that are going to go berserk here going forward. You're going to get some of these games where the usage goes way up. I do think points plus assists, I'm scared to see what the number ends up being. I don't have those props as of yet, but I do have a play in this game, and it's on the Detroit side because the Knicks, man, I'm telling you, they're going to lose to some really bad teams at times when the ball isn't going through the hoop. And Milwaukee, they end up blowing out of the gym in the Garden, 140-106 there on Sunday. Unbelievable ass whooping, basically, at 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific. Karl Anthony Towns goes out, puts up 30, 18, and 4. Absolute insanity. But again, we're worried about the next day. And they're another team that's on a back-to-back for no explainable reason here. So many back-to-backs. I guarantee you, sooner rather than later, the NBA is going to look in the rear view and say, why were we doing this? This made no sense. You have enough days in the year, especially when you're finishing the season at the beginning of July anyway, to make sure that all these games get played in succession. So whatever, we just keep rolling with it. 82 game seasons, let's party. Detroit +7. I think it's pretty clear cut for me. Team not on the back-to-back. Detroit playing really good ball. And I do like this configuration with Malik Beasley finally. I've been beating the drum for it. Finally starting here for the Detroit Pistons. A little extra pure ammunition. It used to be off the bench. Much rather just have my main guys, my best 5 players, play more minutes than everybody else. #math.
He got his first flagrant in 2022. He still has not gotten a tech. He had a tech rescinded in 2015, which is funny.
Producer Jacob, everybody clap. As you could tell, that wasn't my voice. He is real. He is real. Is he going to allow this? Is he going to allow this? Oh, no. There it was. Anywho, we got ourselves Golden State. Don't edit that out. Golden State, 4.5 points they're laying, going up against Toronto in this spot. And Toronto, I keep saying it, the sum of the parts, for whatever reason, is not as much as the parts themselves. It's the exact opposite of the expression. I love individual players for Toronto. I think you've seen an actual resurgence in a number of pieces. Emmanuel Quickley out of New York in Toronto is a bona fide stud. You get RJ Barrett out of New York into Toronto, been a bona fide stud. Scotty Barnes, just been a stud since he touched down in Toronto. But I'm just saying, it's brutal to watch this team play together because they have no cohesion. They have no interest in playing defense. And now you get a Golden State team coming to the party. However, I've ran this multiple times and I just thought blindly 227.5 for a Toronto game. And Steph Curry's going to be in, right? Well, yeah, he's going to be in. He's off the injury report. Andrew Wiggins back with this team after being gone for personal reasons. You usually see that this time of year. And Draymond Green, questionable entering this one, but you get him off the floor and the potential of that, I think that would only help the total because offensively, that is not his job, nor is it the job of anybody else there. But I reran this multiple times because I just couldn't believe that this was actually grading out lower in simulations. I think the number of reasons are Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski, not noted defenders, definitely out there offensively. And well, they're both going to be out for a long time. You got Brandon Podziemski out here for at least another week and a half, and Jonathan Kuminga with that ankle sprain sounds like he's going to be out the rest of the month. So we have to look at this total through a different lens here. I do like the idea of Draymond Green being off the floor. If he ends up off and we get 226.5, 227.5, I'll probably put a small play on this. But for the time being, just has to be a lean. Don't force anything. We'll take a look at props in the morning. I'm going to be firing up everything in the Discord. I'm going to the football game, but I'm betting basketball in the morning. That I promise you. Let's figure out how you can get all of those props. You want to jump into the Discord? Here's how you jump in the Discord, my friends. First week, $10. First month, $25. When you sign up at the link below and use code Lindy50. We've got this one going on here in perpetuity. So if it's your first week and you've never checked out the product, well, good news. You can use this code down below at the link. And otherwise, it's $50 for a month. It's a pretty good deal, just over $1.50 that you're paying per day to be able to be in that Discord, which is a great deal. But how about under $1 a day for your first month? Wouldn't that be lovely? Oh, it is lovely, friends. Go down to the link below. Come jump on in. The water's warm. Plus, I'm throwing out, I was asking for plays today because I was traveling, wanted to be able to get some NBA bets in early. Pretty sharp people talking me through some plays in the DMs. Really appreciated that, folks. We'll find out. Can Mark Williams get over 8.5 rebounds? That would make me happy, J Dollar sign. That would make me happy. That's his screen name. Anywho, Lindy50. Back to the picks we go. Next up on our boarding walk, Memphis. Memphis taking on Houston. And I will say this, Memphis continues to impress me. every single time that they're at full strength. Again, that was an impressive win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I get that Minnesota hasn't been playing the best basketball this season. Was obviously very much talking through that here. But they're fourth in my modeling here. And just so happens that they are playing the team that I have third in my modeling so far in the Western Conference here. That was Western Conference, what it's worth. We are looking at the Houston side of things, friends. They're playing some really good basketball, even absent Jabari Smith. And why is that? Well, Amen Thompson is very, very good. I don't think people understand how good Amen Thompson's been this entire season. Let's talk through a couple of the reasons that I think he might end up being somebody you should be looking at sixth man of the year. And I get it. He's starting right now, but eventually Jabari Smith in like a month is going to be coming back. And this is something that we had some really sharp money, people over at Stochastic on the fantasy side of things, talking me through. And I think that I'm definitely going to be jumping on board with it. Amen Thompson, he'll be starting for about a month. But if he starts fewer than 40 games, he's eligible for sixth man. And Peyton Pritchard's minutes have gone down. And he is like a minus 250 favorite at a lot of books to be able to get that off. 99th percentile defender is Amen Thompson. 72nd percentile actual basketball player is Amen Thompson on the offensive end. He continues to shoot the ball well. 61.2% true shooting percentage. That is 80th percentile in the NBA. Sure, he's got a weakness. He doesn't shoot threes. 24.4% from outside. Doesn't really shoot them. Can't really shoot them. Him and Asar Thompson found something to work on in the offseason. I'm sure we're going to see some TikToks from that too. But anyway, we've got ourselves an over that I do like in this game because I think offense is definitely of the premium here with Memphis on the season. I don't throw these kind of splits out there very much, but I want it to at least be known that Houston, I didn't expect to be flat even when it comes to their over-unders for the totals. They're 18-1 towards over or unders. Memphis, of course, we know 23-14-2. 23-14 going up against overs on your basketball games. We're halfway through the season. That's a good enough sample size for me to say 235.5 is too damn low. This was my first click of the day. I feel pretty good about it. Over. Don't really have anything else. Oh, yeah, John Morant. I wanted to talk about him, too. Double-double, 10-plus assists. I do think we're going to see him start to distribute also. 29-30 minutes, his first two games back. I put him in for 33 here for this reason. I think this game is going to play very, very competitive, and I think we see those minutes flip, especially considering they didn't play on Sunday. I think that these are huge pluses for Memphis to potentially give their star a little bit more run in these closer to win basketball games. And again, played Houston previously, lost 119-115, revenge in your heart, Ja. He's got that guy inside of him. Over 235.5. I know that's a little bit like, I know ball take thrown in, but hey, this may be the last basketball game we cover, but let's talk about the two LA spots. First up, want to throw this out there. If you're putting these in parlays, know that there is a very good chance of things getting voided. I don't know what happens with these games on Monday night. I looked on Twitter. I looked everywhere. X, sorry, Elon. But San Antonio getting 3.5 points, and assuming this basketball game's going on, I don't know how you wouldn't look at all of the scenes that we've seen throughout the Pacific Palisades and not think that there is a good chance of distraction. JJ Redick, it's a house rental that he has there, but all of his stuff, all of his kids' clothes, everything being burned down into ash. It is so unbelievably sad. There aren't really words for it. And with that in mind, it's hard to not look at getting points here with San Antonio at 3.5 when you model something at 2.5. Yes, again, another no ball take. I try not to be outside of the data too much. That is very much at my core who I am. But I ran multiple simulations of this game. And if you're landing on 2.5 as the potential spread and you add a point for, I don't know, distractions, if you will, it's like way worse than James Harden going back to Houston. We know there's distractions there. Those are more fun for him. These are not fun distractions. But anywho, Max Christie, 10 plus points. This is a guy who's going to routinely play 30, 32 minutes here. Dalton Kincaid, he's not knocking down shots early. He doesn't really run into rotation minutes. And Max Christie, he is a defensive specialist. His 10 plus points have routinely been plus money. If you run into that at plus money, I'm going to put that out there as a lean because I think against a team like San Antonio, where they'll definitely utilize him on Devin Vassell, he can utilize in pick and rolls and obviously guard. Yes, he's a shooting guard, but he can guard a Wembanyama on the perimeter if need be. One of the better defenders that I've seen on ball in the entire NBA, Max Christie, 10 plus points. yes, the usage going to be harder to run by. But again, Kincaid not knocking down shots, which is going to happen from time to time. He's going to run into 34, 36 minutes in these kind of spots. In our last game, Miami, 5.5 points going up against the Clippers. Again, a game that if you're putting these in parlays, know there's a chance that it gets voided. They haven't played for a couple of days. The reasons are very obvious. I talked through that. But Miami, Tyler Hero been playing some electric basketball here in the absence of Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler will probably be absent from this basketball team forever. But you know who else has been incredible? And the guy I wanted to feature is a dude who I've been backing in the PRA department. Everybody in the premium Discord knows this. Jaime Jaquez. Haven't talked about him a ton here, but the minutes have really ramped up. And there's some push and pull with Jovic because Jovic coming off the bench, he can get hot in some of these spots. 32 minutes, played really big minutes, but that was against a Portland team where the game was still pretty well in tow. I think Jaime Jaquez here is definitely a featured piece of the card if he falls in that range of 21.5 to 23.5 PRA, because I've got him at 25 PRA. Yes, full number. Beautiful stuff here. If it's inside of -110, that's going to be a play for me at 22.5 or 21.5. 23.5 would have to be plus money. So keep that in mind. That is what we're looking at here. But based on historical prop data, which I comb through every single night, that I think is going to be a play. So I'm making it lean like, because it's a high likelihood and something I haven't talked about on this program here yet. And that does it for a quick and easy edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely slate we have before us. I repeat, I will not have a video for Monday night into Tuesday's slate. So keep that in mind. You're going to be flying solo there on Tuesday, but not if you're in the premium Discord. I will be betting. I will be back on the Stochastic YouTube channel that afternoon, breaking down NBA Live before lock from a fantasy perspective and firing up my bets that evening, Tuesday night for Wednesday on this channel here on the Odd Chopper YouTube channel. So, yeah, I'm going to go skull it up, go live my life. Everybody, have a great, safe, fantastic beginning of your week. Producer Jacob, thank you so much. And hey, throwing in the Mike Conley tidbits, I kind of went on a rant there, but never had a technical foul because it got rescinded. That's incredible. What a guy. What a guy. I sucked up. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Monday.